today is LittleFaith back here for another video, and today guys, I am playing the new Creatures of Sonaria recode beta kind of thing. I am so excited for this. I honestly have not played Creatures of Sonaria in weeks because I've just been waiting for this update. There hasn't really been that many interesting updates, but this one is massive. New map, recode, everything is changing. In fact, this is so different it doesn't even feel like the same game anymore. It feels like a new game. So, of course, I jumped straight into this, no looking around the menu or anything, because I was so excited, and I spawned in the new Flower Cove. It looks incredible compared to the old Flower Cove. It's so different, and it just feels more alive in general, and the animations are much smoother, and it's incredible. Seconds later, I got my first few mushrooms, and I started trying out the abilities just to see what everything did, and figure out the new icons. So I'm not even sure what Speed Blitz does, I gotta be honest. And of course, invisibility, it's pretty self-explanatory. Ambush, as we all know again. And then the dart ability, which was interesting. I've used dart in other games, like Beast of Bermuda. But, of course, no Creatures of Sonaria. I got my first taste of food and then continued exploring the map, and it just, in general, felt so alive and like an improved version. Obviously, it's supposed to be improved, but it was just so different. It was almost unrecognizable that this was the same game that I had been playing since beta. Under the surface, the water and the map was so vibrant and just majestic looking. It was so much to take in, and it was so big. It did not feel cramped at all, which was nice, because sometimes I feel like it can feel kind of cramped. Just trying out the dart ability here, kind of failing. I bet it gets better as I'm an adult, you know, if I make it there, because a lot of people right now are aggressive and struggling to survive, because Creatures of Sonaria has never been a hard survival game. I would not even really have pegged it as a survival game. It was more of a simulator game, and now this is a survival game. I was actually struggling to survive in this, and I have never once struggled to survive in Creatures of Sonaria. Also kind of liked how there was more clean water sources, certain water sources were cleaner than others. That was a good aspect, and that it would make you sick and fill you up less. But I feel like the devs kind of made it so that the water sources got really dirty really fast, and it didn't rain that often to clean them and make it clean again. So I think that could be slowed down a little bit more, because it was really hard later when I was playing a different creature to find a good water source that I could drink from and, you know, keep myself sustained. I now made it into Tundra, which is probably one of my more favorite new areas. I loved the trees and the snow and all the ice blocks and the caves around, and it felt much different than the other Tundra. It wasn't just a mountain, there was more to it, and it didn't feel so small. I feel like the other Tundra felt very small and kind of condensed, and there wasn't much to it. I then started starving and ran all the way back into the redwoods, and these people are not happy about me eating their food, even though I was starving, and you can clearly see that, but I was also at half health, so it was another easy meal to them. So after dying, I switched over to a Vinru because I really wanted to try out the flying. I heard a lot of good things about it, also that it was in general more challenging, so I wanted to check it out for myself, and it felt really cool. I don't know how to describe it really, it felt very mobile, and I was actually flying around, and it was definitely much harder to control. The turning was a bit slower and harder, but I did like that there was actually a sprint now, because sometimes for flying, you can't go fast enough, or you're trying to get somewhere or get away from someone and you're struggling. So sprint is nice, and the animations I love. It looks so smooth now and very integrated with the game. So I used my free trial creature token, because why not? I have nothing better to do with it. And I got the little rainbow cow. And I actually found my first territory, which was interesting. I kind of like that you can have territories now. And then this person came running after me. So I ran for my little life, my pathetic little life. And then I found this Militra, and I got scared of them because I know that they're strong. And then disaster struck. Came the rain, and it started flooding. I realized this as I was trying to eat, and it was in the middle of Oasis, so I can't exactly, there's not really a super high place that I can get to that, yeah. So at this point I was very worried. I was like, oh no, I am going to drown. And yeah, it started flooding really fast. It got super high. But it was also really cool because they'd been talking about this in the last map redesign, which never happened. And I was glad to finally see it in action, and it was hard to survive. It was very scary. I also love that the water had like waves in it. It didn't feel so flat, kind of like dead. Even, especially during the storm, like the waves got much bigger, and it was flooding extremely fast here. Within a few seconds, it had already reached me up here. After a little longer, I started messing around with Mythosaurus and I checked out the customizations really quick. And if y'all know me, I love customizing skins, and sometimes it is so hard and annoying to get to all those little areas.
Ready?
So
I was born ready.
This new feature was amazing for anyone who likes creating skins or wants to get into it. It makes it much less frustrating.
As this spy code isn't just to look.
So I basically right away got attacked by this little baby. It's a Jetattle, and I value my safety, but not really. I was trying to figure out how to really hit it because I was struggling to know how to use the tail whip because that wasn't really explained. But I did manage to, and the carcass for it actually wasn't that big. I thought it'd be bigger. It shrunk all the carcasses down. A few minutes later, I found some other people growing Omicosaurodons as well, and I knew that it would be better if I was in a pack with them, of course, especially as a baby. And I actually ended up in a pack up with 2 other people, 1 adult and another baby. 2 in general, the growth felt a lot faster, probably because of the sustentation thingy that gives you 25% growth. And I was actually having fun for once. Not that I don't have fun growing sometimes in a creature of sonaria, but a lot of times it feels like a chore, so I don't really want to do it, and then I just don't end up even playing. And then it began to rain again, and of course with rain comes flooding, and swamp isn't exactly the least floodable area. It floods very quickly. And we're massive creatures, which will have a hard time finding a place that's good enough for us. So we took to slightly higher ground and hoped that the flood would not reach us there. Once the flood had gone down, we made our way back to the Pride Rocks. I was now an adult, and the other Lamechasaurodon was a teen. This is also where we had made our territory, so now you can see it was our territory up top. And it was cool having a territory. It was like, I don't know, it was interesting to claim like our own little space. So I finished growing a few minutes later, and I was actually Glimmer as well. Apparently most people who finish growing were Glimmers, not all of them, but most of them. And I was saying, I was like, I kind of wish I could keep all these Glimmers because I have a Glimmer issue, but one, I know I can't, and two, that would be way too many Glimmers. Our group was starting to expand nicely. We had another Carathos, and another Lamechasaurodon, and we even had Barracudas. But then it began to flood again. So we all made our way onto the Pride Rock, as that was the highest point near us to escape from the flooding. And it was a little cramped up there with like 4 Lamechasaurodon across us. There was a lot of people. We had survived the flood for the day, but now completely submerged in water, the night came, and so did a blood moon. With blood moon, everyone's damage is increased, which makes it obviously much more hard to survive, and the entire map is flooded, so we're also starting to drown. At this point, I just decided to menu because I knew that otherwise I would not survive either the creatures or the fact that I was just drowning. Now it is time for me to say how I felt about this whole experience. In general, I loved it. It was very hectic and actually kind of challenging to survive, which was really kind of a breath of fresh air because Creatures of Sonaria has never been a challenge to survive, and it in general felt so alive, so new, and just incredible. I love the waves, I love the new weather, like how lush and vibrant the maps looked. I also love that in general the animations were a bit smoother. I do like that now you can use your abilities better, and like it makes more sense how to use your abilities, because sometimes like to new players they don't obviously know to push Q for the ability, and it's like, I don't know how to do that, this is confusing. And now it's not confusing because you can see it on the bottom, you can click it, you can push a button for it, it's much easier to access. Also, I love all the new gacha, like designs. They look very cool. And I love the little dance that they do when you open it. And, yeah. I can't wait to see as this continues on and when it releases. There are obviously still glitches and things that they need to work out and some things that they're going to change because this is just like the beta of the early access, because that makes sense. But yeah, otherwise I honestly don't really have much to complain about. It's incredible. I recommend it. Go check it out. Go watch other people's videos on it, and I hope y'all have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.